Hello there, thanks for joining me today. My name is Melissa Lemon. Welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to talk a little bit about the importance of unplugging and hugging. So for people who are anxious or have anxiety, technology can be a little more of a burden than a blessing sometimes. And so I think it's really important to unplug. I just feel like I need to talk a little more about how social media can really contribute to anxiety in a person who already is experiencing anxiety. Really the flood and entourage of information and posts and everything can kind of tend to bring down a soul who's already weighed down by so many thoughts. And of course, sometimes there's the comparison thing that comes up with some people, and studies are showing that social media can be really detrimental on the mental health of young people, especially. So that's all I'm going to say about that. Unplug as much as possible. And as far as hugging goes, I feel like that's not all I have to say about that. So unplugging regularly, daily unplugging. So one of the things that I do that's just kind of my gift to myself is my phone is not in my room when I sleep. And honestly, that is a beautiful thing. There are times I do bring my phone in at night because, again, I have anxiety. So if my husband is traveling, for example, I will probably have my phone in my room. If one of my close loved ones is struggling with something, maybe a sickness or something like that, I might keep my phone in my room in case somebody, needs to get a hold of me in the middle of the night. There was a time I remember I just felt prompted and my phone actually was still outside of my room, but I felt prompted before I went to sleep to make sure my volume was turned all the way up. And so I did. And in the middle of the night, one of my neighbors called me, and she was like, I need you. I had to take my husband to the emergency room, and she had 3 little kids. And so I just went and sat at her house at night while she went to the hospital. But so doesn't mean we, can't still be available to the people who we love and who we want to be there for. But there are times even then that I'm like, right now I just need no contact with anybody. And it's okay to shut your phone off, to leave it behind. That's something I've been practicing lately, is leaving it behind. So when I go out, I'll leave my phone in the car, like when I go into the store or whatever. Just trying to be without it as much as possible and have more freedom to be aware of my surroundings and maybe be interacting with the real life people that are standing right next to me versus being distracted by my phone. And what else about social media? Social media and young people. Recommended age for social media. I'd say 18. I'd say kids don't need to be on social media at all. And that might be a really hard thing for some kids. But that's just my recommendation. Take it or leave it. So kids' brains are actually still developing even past 18. And so if you can be actively aware of that as a parent and kind of training them up in those later years, their later teen years, of how to handle social media, how to set limits, how to set timers, how to not compare themselves to other people, just building up their self-confidence and their self-worth and making sure they know who they are and that they're loved unconditionally before they kind of get into this world of so many posts and so many opinions. And also, one of the things that's important, I think, for kids to recognize is you don't have to be friends with everybody. That's important for all of us to recognize. You don't have to be friends with everybody, and you don't have to, I'm friends with some people that maybe I don't follow, so maybe some people I don't necessarily want to see their posts, but I still really want that to be a friend with them and to maybe have that little bit of contact. But just spending the years teaching them those things and making sure they are mature enough and know that they I would say the biggest thing is know that their self-worth is just ironclad before they do that. So just some thoughts about that. So okay, now I'm going to move on to hug. So this is 2 parts. The first thing I want to talk about is actually nature. So I was thinking when I first created this or thought of this idea for this video today, I was actually thinking of hugging a tree. So nature is so important. It helps us ground. It is just life. It is life-giving. I think technology is life-draining and life-taking, and nature is life-giving. And so making sure that we are replenishing ourselves, physically touching nature. It's important to be in nature and to see nature, but physically touching it is even more important. Touching those living things. So get out and hug a tree, do some grounding, barefoot on the grass, all the things. The other thing I want to talk about with hugging is just the importance of human touch and how that can really help calm our anxiety, to just receive a very heartfelt hug from somebody where there's no rush. It's just, just to be held for a few seconds or a few minutes can really help kind of calm down any current anxiety. And so that is important. Make sure we're getting our physical hugs. If you have kids with anxiety, making sure they're getting physical touch even as they grow up and get older. That's so important that they still have that physical touch. I know some people, maybe if the anxiety is super severe, or if there are certain triggers about being touched, or if there's any type of like autism, any diagnoses going on, then maybe that's not always possible. But I do think there are ways to work around that, wrapping somebody in a blanket. There are these weighted blankets now, which are kind of cool, I guess. It's really not as cool as hugging a tree, but it can be useful at times. So just making sure that people are getting the physical touch that they need, and just that feeling of being hugged and being held and being cherished, and that skin-to-skin contact, or that, that arm-to-arm, and just the hugging can just really be a powerful thing for calming anxiety. And so just, it's important that we hug the living things. So that's my video today. Thank you so much. I'd love to hear your thoughts. You can leave a comment, and if you want, you can always like and subscribe if you would like to, and we will see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.